my young, beautiful kids. I'm walking, right? And I'm talking with God. I want you to hear what God is saying to me. Now, I want you to look at all the crime that's going on in the world, right? Okay. Now, what? Okay. Look at the white race. You got U.S. history. Do you have white history? No, you got U.S. history, and you got world history, and you got black history. Okay. The white kids study black history. Okay. We, as colorful skin, looks at black history, U.S. history, and world history. Look at all other races. What do they teach first? World history. When you look at crime, don't they take the nature of black history? Yes, I remember in the 80s, it used to be Oprah Winfrey. She used to talk about, who she talk? She talk about Jay-Z. The music that you make is derogatory to women and kids. The violence that you speak is no good for our ears to hear. Eminem, it's no good for you to talk about the things that you talk about to these kids. Eminem said, well, I speak truth. This is what goes on in a community. Okay. Now, you look at any other race of people in America. If they do not study black history or U.S. history, do they do what we do? No. So if you are a black parent raising a black child, why are you teaching them something that's not helping you? Yes, my grandfather was in slavery. Yes, my grandfather picked cotton. Yes, my great-grandfathers did all this. Yes, okay, cool. But what do you teach your kids? Be better than me. When you sit at the table and have a family gathering, when you talk about past, don't you tell your kids go in a room? This grown folks talking. Okay, so if it's grown folks talking, why is you telling them this? You understand what I'm saying? Look at Newark. A man got shot. It's always in the black community that it gets shot. But if it's somebody else, they get all the resources to find out who the killer is. So if you are studying something that's not helping you, why are you teaching your kids to study black history and world history for? U.S. history. Think about that. If you are living in a community and they allow a black person to get killed, okay, allow them to get killed, but they don't find the suspects who did it, and you living in this country, why are you teaching them U.S. history for? When it's not even benefiting you. You teaching them U.S. history, and the government doesn't even care about you. But you teaching them this. They go to war, they get mentally unstable, but you teach them U.S. history. Okay? My mother didn't allow me to study U.S. history. She didn't allow me to go through what my great-grandparents went through. She didn't want me to know nothing about that. Why would I put what I went through in your brain? There's grown folks talking. This is not what you need to talk about. This is another generation. Go in a room, cover your ears. Stay out my face when grown folks talking. That's how my mother used to be. It's two grown folks talking. Why is you here? Why is you present for? What I've been through as a child doesn't reflect you. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I went through in East Orange High School, what I went through in East Orange, when I went and being incarcerated, when I was incarcerated in Charlotte, is not meant for my son and daughter to hear it. That's Black history. I'm giving you something how to be a human being. Read Jamaican history. Read China history. Read Middle East history. Once you start to read these other histories, now you're going to look at your life and compare your life to what's going on in the world. It will make you a human being. When you start studying you, you think you are superior to everything in the world. You think African American is what is that. You are a human being. This government doesn't care about you. They care about certain people. So if they don't care about you, why do you allow your kids to study something that doesn't even benefit you? Here it is, you walk into the Capitol building, and you're a black man, and you're going to tell them 400 years of slavery, what we went through. The first real person that's in the Capitol building is going to say, well, are you 400 years old? Are you 400 years old? Tell me what you've been through. That's the first thing they say. What have you been through? It's two grown folks talking. Let's go in the room. Yes, what my great-grandfather went through. Yes, my grandmother had a light-skinned kid. Yes, my grandma been raped by a white man. Yes, we got Indian in our family. Yes, we got all this. But I was grown to hear it. I wasn't in school when I heard all this. Grown folks talking. I had to understand. My mind wasn't strong enough to understand what my parents went through. You understand what I'm saying to you? There's two grown folks talking. That's the problem with these young generation now. You tell them your history. Here I am, the President of the United States. I'm in the Capitol building. I'm 54. Yeah, 54 years old. I got a 30 years old standing in front of me in the Capitol building talking about black history, what we've been through. He said, I'm not real. The first thing I'm going to say, how old are you? Are you 30? Okay. How are you going to tell me about something that you didn't even witness? Was you here 400 years ago? Okay. What have you seen? Well, things haven't changed. What have you seen that you mean things haven't changed? You read other people's history. What is your history? You are a human being. Tell me what you've been through. Okay, now, this is you. Tell your kids, go in the opposite room. I'll hear them later. I want to hear you. What have you been through? Well, today my kids got to go to school. They got to carry guns to school just to protect themselves. They got to carry weapons into school because they are afraid of the environment. Now we're talking about your history. You understand what I'm saying to you? These kids are listening to your history and policing what you've been through, saying we're not going to go through that. If you would have said go in a room, it's grown people talking, they wouldn't have understood what you went through and have an attitude. I don't have an attitude what my father been through. I don't have an attitude what Granddaddy Eddie Robinson been through. I don't have an attitude with Monica Joseph Jones been through. I don't have an attitude with Charlotte Robinson, what she went through. I don't have an attitude what Ruth Peterson Jones went through. I'm standing before you what Anthony Jerome Robinson, Tariq Tony Robinson went through. You don't see me telling my kids what I went through. I'm telling my kids not to study U.S. history. It doesn't mean nothing. It's garbage. It's garbage. Anybody that walked on this land is garbage if they're not here. They in the dirt, they turned to dust, it's done. What has that person done to you? Well, my great-grandfather suffered. Okay. Is he suffering now? Is he suffering now? I just read in New Jersey, on Chicago, it was a woman that was a Muslim. A man broke in the house after the Middle East war, stabbed the woman. The woman went into the bathroom to stop the man from stabbing her. The man took his rage and repeatedly stabbed a 6-year-old child. And the father is at the courtroom wanting justice. Now, I want you to think about this. You are in your own house. Someone break into your house, stab you. You can't even help yourself. You had to crawl into the bathroom to lock the door to get yourself right. Your kid was outside there thinking that this person won't hurt your kid, but stabbed this 6-year-old child repeatedly and killed him. Now, this war in the Middle East, where did all of this anger come from? U.S. history. U.S. history. You look at these kids. First thing I tell you, we're not going to go through what we're not our fathers. We're not doing what our fathers used to do. Because your fathers taught you what they went through. U.S. history. If they would have said it's two grown people talking, go in a room, they wouldn't have had an attitude. Now, here I am, I'm marching in Newark over this man's death. We shall overcome. I got the Muslim world with me. Muslims is praying, saying peaceful actions. Peaceful. We want peace. No violence, peace. You know, we sitting there saying, love your neighbor, love your neighbor. So I'm sitting there and I'm standing right here from the governor of New Jersey, and the president is on the phone talking and saying, look, things have changed. I said, well, can I speak to the president? Mr. Biden, things won't change unless the people change. It will never change. If you want change, you have to change the way you communicate. You change the way, if two grown people are talking, why is a kid present? It's just that simple. You don't get this right until you become an adult. If two grown people are talking, why is a 9-year-old, 10-year-old present? That's the problem. You're telling them what you went through, But they're not going through what you went through. You sit down as they become adults and you talk to them about life history. But as they are growing, you tell them world history. Look, we don't have much. We don't have much. Read world history. You're going to read what goes on in Iraq. You're going to read and goes on in Africa that they cut their legs off. They get their leg cut off. They get an arm cut off. You're going to read about other countries. You're going to see what goes on in your household. When you see what goes on in your household, you're going to say, I'm a human being. I don't want no parts of that. You're going to look at people in America different. You're going to look at when the Mexicans come over here different. You're going to look at the Japanese come over here differently. Chinese differently. You're going to look at this is a human being country. That's what you want to teach your kids. You are a human being. Please. If they do not help you, why are you studying something that doesn't benefit you? It just don't make sense. Why would I study U.S. history and U.S. history does nothing for me? Why would I want to read something that's going to put me in jail? Why I want to read something that's going to make me, here I am, my mind is on this level up here. My mind is up here. Now I'm reading something that's going to put me down here. Why? Why? Come out of the world. If you don't get this right, you're always going to have this problem. It's not meant for everybody to be saved. But it's meant for you to come out of this stupidness. It's meant for you. Stop reading about things that doesn't care or benefit you. They do not care about you. They don't care about no Muslim. Because if they did, they would give all the resources possible to find out what happened. If they cared about the white kid in the trailer park, they will give you all the available resources to find out what happened to that kid in the trailer park. But they don't. They're going to say, well, it's financial. But you select who you want to save. You select who you want to save. So if they don't care about you, why you read about something that doesn't benefit you? Think about that. I will never have a U.S. history book in my encyclopedia library. Never. Because I'm going to read everything that went on in this country, and I'm going to look, what the hell have it done for me? I'm going to read about Malcolm X. I'm going to read about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King marched from Alabama, Washington, D.C. Okay, I'm going to go take my car, drive to Alabama, get a group of black people, and say, let's march. What in the hell is that going to change? It's not going to change another person's view. It's not going to change another person's actions. What's going to change is me. I got to change me first. Change how I raise my kids. Change how I communicate. Stop giving them things that doesn't help them. These kids got an attitude because you put the attitude in them. I'm not reading no book about no black man getting dragged by a horse in the 60s and 50s. That's out. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Ugh. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading about no white man. A black man works for a white man. The white man takes a break, go home, fucks his wife. The wife has a baby, the baby light skin. I'm not reading no shit like that. I'm not reading about, okay, you go to work, the community comes home, fuck your wife. Or your best friend is having an affair with your wife. Why the fuck is I'm reading some shit about this? Because if I am on point, when God brought me into the earth, he brought me self. You control self. You can't control nothing else. I will give you everything you possibly need. If he will supply everything you need, everything that happened in your life ain't meant for you to have. You understand? I got a new vision. Here I am, I meet ladies, I talk to them, blase, blase. I don't give a shit about no woman. Not on a negative side. I was born alone. God says, I will supply all your needs. That's not my need. That's not my need. Because he will bring somebody here that's going to edify me, to get my attention on what I'm doing or where I'm trying to go. Prime example. If I gotta sneeze. If I am in construction, excuse me. If I'm in construction, I'm making a building. I'm single. Well, this woman has some land. We just talking in general. First time she speaks to me, it's just her outer appearance gets my attention, and my outer appearance gets her attention. There's nothing wrong with saying, hi, how you doing? But it's something that she will say that will click in my ear. It's something I will say that will click in her ear that's going to interest her, because God then gave you a vision. He spoke to you the night before with a vision, and this person has some type of knowledge of that vision that they don't even know about, and is speaking to you. And you can hear God through this person. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I pray for you, man. Let's stop the nonsense. Stop reading about things that people don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about how many blacks die today. They don't care about how many ministers die in church today. You understand what I'm saying? Hold on, my nose ran again. See, they don't care about that. They don't care about that. If they care about that, they'll get on and say, I give you all my available resources. Do they do that? No. So why are you reading about something that doesn't care about you? Now you're going to feel some kind of way that this country doesn't acknowledge me. But I'm not an African American. I'm a human being. God acknowledges me. God hears me. Come out of the world. Religion. Definition of religion is belief of. African American is just a title. That's just a belief of. You are a human being. Remember that. You are a human being. You classify yourself as an African American. You classify yourself as black or white, Chinese or whatever you want to call yourself. You classify yourself that. You put that title on you. God gave you one title, a human being. I made man in my image. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. If you don't get this right, you never will come out of bondage. They don't care about you. But you read the books that they put out. Okay, prime example, the news media gets paid to start up controversy. That's just their job. It's their job to put on things to get this environment going, stir up what's going on in the pot, stir it up to create news. You have to decipher what you can digest and what must not be digested. If I just showed you a cop in Greensboro that got shot off duty, wouldn't even have his uniform on, which I'm not saying it's not justified, but the governor of North Carolina, I'm not speaking of the president, I'm not speaking to no one else, says, I give you all the available resources to find out who this killers is. They must be brought to justice. Okay. So a pastor or minister was slain and we don't get all the available resources? But yet and still, I'm going to tell my kids to read U.S. history? I'm going to tell my kids to go join in the military? I'm going to tell my kids that this is the greatest country in the world? I'm telling you, you are a human being. God cares about you. Get it right. I'm going to walk to my daily walk, go to Lowe's, come back. I have to, the Lord wants me to, in school, CDL school, how do you put your fifth wheel plate? If you are at max load, where would you select your kingpin to be on your tractor? Well, it's a lot of math I had to do. Okay, a lot of math. So I wish you well. I kid you not. I try every day to wake up, Lord, remove anything that's not of you and give me more of you. I don't want to hate no one. I don't want to disrespect no one. I want to love my brother. I want to love my sister. I want to love my brother, human being, my sister, human being. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what color you are. You still are a human being. If God didn't bring you in my vision, natural vision, you don't exist. Because I can see you, I must respect you. I honor things I can't see. I respect things I can see. I honor things I can't see. I respect things I could see. Peace.